Hey, honey.
I have wrapped up. What's up?
But we never really got to chat about what happened the other day.
Not wrong. Where you at?
I can head up to wherever. I'm just staying in bed right now, trying to fix something out.
Mm, how about we head to? I don't know. Where should we go?
I mean, the observatory works, you know. We can go there.
I don't like it there.
We can go the Vinewood Shine somewhere out the way. Yeah.
Um, sure.
Okay. I'll see you there soon.
All right. Bye.
Bye bye. How did we find that? Fucking randomly on the fucking ground, dude. What the fuck? I need to read it properly once we get here. Right. Vinewood sign is. I think it's to do with like the zebra Margot shit. I very much doubt it's connected, but I just had an idea. I just had an idea. Don't let me forget this one because I need to get up to the and fucking Google it. But like, we're talking about the Oracle, right? And fucking prophecies and shit. Was there any prophecies that were supposed to come true in fucking 2023? I guess we'll have to fucking look it up. Wait. Also, I'm thinking in the fucking Gregorian calendar where the fuck we are. What about if I need to think in like another calendar? Hey, this might be a nice place for a new pick. This way. That lighting, man. Beautiful. I'm hoping it's something incredibly simple and obvious. Heck you, man. Prophecies for 2023. Anything? Any like end of the world shit? Nostradamus four predictions for 2024. That is not what I want. I want 2023, man. Cost of living. Well, I mean, he's not wrong. um, I can't see anything. Yeah. I'll come back to that. Well, what about like alternative calendar? List of calendars. Maybe the Egyptian calendar? Oh, hey, honey.
Hey.
Maybe not in one back. Looking at
It's a nice green.
yeah. I don't know why this one's green.
Anyways, sorry.
Right. You okay?
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know what he wants of me. I mean, I do, but I don't, but I do. I don't know.
What do you think you
A
want?
lot of our well, I mean, the whole ring conversation, but like I feel like I get a fairly decent read on people, and it seems like the original intent was to create a rift between us of sorts. The mention of, Norman and um, the whole, did Richard tell you about his conversation and stuff like that? It was like very he was trying to plant seeds essentially, like seeds of doubt,
Yeah.
which I've said this before and I will say it again. Um, if you're doing something, there's reason behind it. I'm not going to second guess you. If I'm aware of it beforehand and I think it's stupid, I mean, I'll let you know, but I also know that you're likely not going to change what you intend on doing regardless. Like you are very dead set in your ways. Um, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how he expects me to get said ring. I don't even know if that's what his intent was. I don't know if it was the intent was to get me to speak to you for you to attempt to do. I don't know. There's just so many unknowns that it's difficult to get like a solid read on the situation. But the beginning was definitely him trying to plant seeds of doubt for sure.
Hmm. I spoke with him. I didn't intend to, but I wanted to check see if anyone was over at the lighthouse. He somehow knew I was there, so he called me up, then drove up the mountain. He's on. He's saying stuff that I haven't really heard from him before, or maybe I just haven't asked, or just haven't had the want to talk to him. But he said things like how he he wants us to feel pain and to suffer, so that we get reminded that we're still alive. And then he wants to do it to make us stronger.
I questioned him on that because he did bring that up. And I was like, if that's the case, then why did you originally give Richard the cure? Because I don't remember exactly what he said, but the stuff that was being mentioned was not adding up. And sure, I may lack context, but it you know what I mean? Like if if he's saying that and he's now said it twice, once to me and now to you, why give you the cure? I don't know. I mean, logic that just it doesn't make sense, right? It defeats the purpose of what he told both you and me.
I don't know. I don't know whether he's doing it to try and get people on his side, you know, and get them working for him, or whether that's what he truly believes.
He also said, "Oh my god, I'm not gonna lie, I was mentally not all there that day." I think the implication was that Norman isn't Norman. Um, he said he was looking for his sibling or brother. Again, I was not in a mental state to be entertaining any sort of fruitful conversation. I'm sort of just like spitfiring random stuff that I recall. Um, the same thing with, I believe, him, as in he's not Isaac. Uh, and I could be wrong, but during a conversation, I think he made mention that like once he gets what he wants, he'll no longer. I think the implication was no longer would need Isaac's body.
That's what he
I
said to
don't
me. Yeah,
I don't know. Were they brothers?
they were.
Just a quick.
Yeah,
Okay. The thing is, when I had that conversation with Snoopy, and I know you're probably not his biggest fan considering what I told you about him, but um, I couldn't recall the specific details because, like I said, we've spent many years like just suppressing those memories and not talking about it, not thinking about it, and those details kind of slipped my mind. Um, I don't know if I went into detail regarding the ring. What I do know is that it was a ring that Olivia Copper used to have, and at some point, Norman now has it. It unrelated to the ring, though, what confused me was he was again, the implication was that, like, Norman isn't Norman. It's
from what I
not his
understand, I think
brother.
what he's trying to point out that Norman is a parasite that is attached itself to, you know, that entity, I guess, and Pestilence doesn't like that. I think Isaac's gone, so what we've been talking to is just Pestilence in Isaac's body. So he wants Norman gone.
What I don't understand is, he mentioned that if I recall correctly, he asked me, like, "Is what Norman is doing, like" I wanna say the word he
Natural.
used was yes.
He
Um,
asked me the same.
but the thing is, like, bringing somebody back to life, that's not it's not natural, but it's what Norman's always done. So I don't understand where he's coming from.
I
None of
think
what happens there is natural. Deal making, like, it almost seemed like he was trying to say that the, like, deal making process, the people going there and whatnot. Like Norman is the problem, but Norman's always been that way. I don't think anything has changed, at least not that I'm aware of.
No, I don't think so either. But I think its point is that Norman has taken over from what came before him and is doing things that, I guess, if we look at it like a job or a position, Norman is doing things unnatural to that position, and Pestilence doesn't like that.
Why didn't he take issue with this years ago?
Because I don't think that was fully Pestilence yet. I think that was still Isaac. Back then they were allied in that they'd both taken over things that they weren't before. Now, I think Isaac's gone. Nothing of him left other than the look.
Okay, and just to clarify, so I make sure I'm on the same page. We're talking about 4 different people. There's Isaac, then there's Pestilence, then there's Norman, then there's Death, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Isaac and Norman, brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And how come when Pestilence is referring to well, I guess he never really clarifies if he's speaking about Norman or Death.
I think he's probably talking about Death when he refers to his brother.
Okay, so again, just trying to make sure I understand properly. Isaac is the physical being of Pestilence.
Mm-hmm.
Norman, physical being of Death.
Yeah.
Isaac is the brother of Norman.
Mm-hmm. Was, yeah, because they're both dead.
Okay, but if Pestilence is having these conversations referring to his brother, does that
I think
work?
he's referring to Death. Like, I think, Death, Pestilence, Famine, and War probably consider each other siblings, is my guess.
Okay. I guess that makes sense, but I don't know. I don't trust the guy. I don't want to trust the guy, but like, what else is there to do?
I think there's a way out of this. I just don't know what it is. Isaac, or Pestilence, thinks, or has said, that we get that ring off Norman, then he sheds his Isaac form and the timeline gets pushed back. Timeline referencing the end of everything, right? I asked him specifically if that ring was gone, if Norman disappeared and he was removed, then how would that change things? And he said the timeline would be shifted back. So, in other words, what Pestilence is saying is that Norman's deals and all the stuff he's been doing and interfering has pushed us to a point that the 4 of them are going to turn up. So,
Okay. The third being faceless.
that's an assumption, yeah. We don't know for sure yet.
What about the fourth?
Famine.
In what capacity?
Well, don't know yet. There's, from my conversation that I had with the Faceless the other night, they basically admitted that they're the ones shoveling Class 2s onto the streets. And when you look at it in a not so literal way, handing the city weapons and causing pain and suffering, and I mean, that's pretty on the nose for war. So, I imagine if famine turns up, we're going to have another physical manifestation in some form, but I don't know what that could look like. I don't know who that could look like.
I don't know. I think the part that bothers me the most is if he obtains said ring, right? Obviously, it means a lot. It means a hell of a lot if the only thing he wants is a ring from Norman. Like, clearly, this ring has significance to it, and more than just being a physical ring that looks nice, right? Are we not just putting the equivalent of I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, aren't we just wouldn't we just let Pestilence take control? You know what I mean? Like, what if it gives him the ability to do something that he doesn't have now that would otherwise not control, but give him more leverage?
That's the issue. I don't know. I don't know whether it would or it wouldn't. What we got to figure out, but I don't even know if that's the kind of thing we can figure out. I can tell you what I'm working on right now is a way to take the faceless off the table somehow. But
How do you
again,
plan on doing that?
it stays between you and me, but we got a warning from somebody who had worked with the faceless prior. Talked about a group called the Oracle. Apparently they're a bunch of, like, code breakers or something that would be capable of taking the faceless's, network down. But the only clues we got was a couple of twats from them group, that is the Oracle.
What do the tots contain?
The one was like a message. The one said that when the unknown rules the streets, a silent force awakens to reclaim the dawn. And then the second tweet the day after was just, it was all in capitals, and it was S.T.T.W.C. That was it.
Repeat that?
S.T.T.W.C.
Lowercase or uppercase?
Uppercase. So I'm trying to figure out what that is. I figure that's some kind of code, given the nature of their group.
They were all in all caps?
Yeah. In all caps, S.T.T.W.C. I don't know what it is. I've tried converting. I've run it through a Caesar cipher that doesn't give me anything. I even used a fucking Wordle solver because I thought maybe the dots were like missing letters or something. But the only word that would work is like twitchers, but that doesn't really make any sense. So then I converted the letters to numbers, and that could be something, but I haven't figured it out yet because it's 19.20.2023.3. I thought it might be a date, but you can't have the 19th of the 20th month or the 20th of the 19th month. It don't make any sense.
Huh.
Yeah. So
And
maybe
nobody
if,
has figured out the S dot
not that I know
P
of,
dot TW dot C.
and I think for the PD side of things, the only people that were working on this was me and Ashira, and she's no longer employed.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I don't know. Pestilence, I don't know why he wanted to speak to you specifically. And I'm sorry that happened.
Well, no, I just want you to know that despite your text, the reason I didn't leave was because, I mean, quite frankly, I did. I would just anticipate getting worse. So it's kind of pointless. And he kind of showed up fairly quickly. And conversation was going to happen at some point.
Yeah. Etta got another visit from a chicken man the other day. He was watching the house, but he cleared out. But a bunch of the couple of her chickens died, and some of the locals were dead on her porch too. Same thing as us.
Wonderful.
I understand your feelings of, I guess, hopelessness. I get it. You know, Jackie and Jenny, they uh they were contacted too, and then they were hunted by the chicken man.
Well, I would assume, early assumption, assume Jackie would be contacted given his involvement with Copper, his involvement with
Yeah.
Norman, and it being likely that he would assist in trying to obtain said ring, you know?
Yeah, maybe. I think he said he spoke to both Norman and Pestilence. I had no idea until I called Jackie to try and see if he remembered anything about the chicken man. Then we met up and he was like, yeah, the guy's been chasing me around all day. So, and you know
Uh,
about Winston, right?
yeah, that had told me. It was the day that uh, a bunch of the PD got shot by the lighthouse by a shotgun. It was one of those, like, given everything that already happened, I was already at my threshold. But like, given what Etta was going through, like it. Strangely enough, and this doesn't happen very often, but like hearing that Sean was going into ICU, hearing that Norman showed up, hearing that Norman dropped Winston's heart into Edda's hands. Like, what was I gonna do? I mean, there's nothing in the moment that I could do other than listen, but I don't know. Speaking to Pestilence the other day, he pretty much told me I can't just have my blinders on.
He
I
told
don't
you
know what the
that?
fuck else. Yeah, yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get him. Itch.
I don't either. I did speak with uh Eric a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
This is when you were missing. Um, there was a lot of mention of the white feather, mention of hope. Um, I'm assuming someone struck a deal and needs 5 of these feathers. I don't quite know who. I don't know if I brought this up to you, but I think they have 3. You've been mentioned as somebody with one, and I don't know if it's Eric with the Andy with the. I don't know. I don't know, but
It's Edgar de Castillo. He had struck a deal with Norman a while back after he killed Aaliyah Court. Remember her?
not exactly. Wait, was that EMS?
She was a DOC.
No, no, wrong person. Sorry.
She was a DOC. Ended up basically trying to steal a bunch of contraband and guns from prison. I think she was working as like a manner clean person and had to grow up in her house. Regardless, I think her and Edgar were pretty close. Edgar had, I think he loved her and helped her fake her own death a few days before her court case. But then, for whatever reason, I don't know why, a while later, after she turns back up alive, he kills her. He killed the woman he loved, and I think he spiraled from there. Made a deal with Norman to bring her back. And I think it must have been, I don't exactly know the details, but he then went on to murder 5 or 6 different people at or around the lighthouse. And then I think eventually Norman gave him a name of someone that he needed to kill, and that person was Sonia Summers. So one day, the same day that Matthew Colby was apprehended, there was a situation at the lighthouse that Edgar went into the lighthouse and he never came out. So he died that day, and for as I'm aware, he's been stuck in purgatory since. And it was TJ Walker, yeah, dead TJ Walker, that informed Edgar's friends that if they gathered up 5 white feathers, Edgar would be able to be brought back.
Um, that not mean that there's going to be a target on your back?
I thought so, but I've had 4 people contact me about that feather, and none of them have tried anything. They've all been very respectful and not trying to take it forcibly. I'll be honest, initially I offered it up in exchange for information on the faceless, given the people that were asking. But those same people then went on to work with Pestilence. So I don't really know. Well, I do know that their whole group is splintered at the minute. Because another deal was made and it went bad.
That why Barrick then told me that the deal's kind of off the table, no longer exists because whatever you're
Maybe.
mentioning now.
I'm not sure. It's possible. Another one of that group made a deal to try and bring Edgar back. And I think he was given a list of names that he had to go after. And he didn't meet the quota in time, and so he's also dead. It's just a never-ending spiral. But at this point, if I can offer up my feather to help one of them get out, I'm gonna do it.
Barrick was telling me that and this is something I feel like Balto would have more context of because again, it's been so long not thinking about any of this. I remember Balto was very familiar with a lot of what happened and specifically the birds, but Barrick made mention of white bird called Hope, um, and how I don't remember if he went into specifics, but something to the extent of like Hope is able to not absorb's not the word I'm looking for, but like Hope is able to like I guess withstand the sickness. I guess from pestilence. I'm assuming, um,
Mm.
and recover from it. Um, the thing is, if people are making deals and they need 5 of these feathers in order to do whatever it is they want to do, like it's more than just something with pestilence. You know what I mean? Unless Norman himself needs 5 of them to achieve a personal goal dealing with, death rather dealing with pestilence. I don't know. And
Yeah,
if that's the case, that's very dangerous. Like people are gonna play into the, the hands of death and then give them what he needs to do worse. And then they're all gonna be back at square one because what do people in positions like that do when they need something? They take people who are vulnerable, who have been on the receiving end of some kind of benefit and either guilt trip them or force them to do something because they've done it before. If you've ever watched any series, any show where there's a person in trouble, they ask for help. They rope somebody in. That person is not just roped in for that situation. That is their go-to because it's worked once and it'll work again, and they now have leverage on said person because they assisted with whatever the first thing was. And I feel like I mean, listen, I don't know Edgar. I don't know if he's good. I don't know if he's bad. Um, but if he comes back, I'm concerned about what the outcome of Norman or death, I guess, becomes or is now capable of doing. It could be nothing. Could be nothing, and I could just be overthinking it. But like, why else would you specifically want 5 of these feathers?
No, you're right.
Is it immunity from pestilence?
Maybe.
Because
I
if
don't know.
what I don't what I don't understand is I remember years ago that feather would turn black around certain people. And the thing is, it never crossed my mind as like it potentially, I guess, absorbing and being able to like withstand the sickness. I had always perceived it at the time as like, okay, this isn't good. Like, am I wrong in saying that at some point it was utilized as like not a death indicator, but like it was, I don't know how to explain it. It was just so long ago and I don't remember the specifics, but like
I remember
I
it turning
remember.
black, but I can't remember why.
Yeah, me neither. I don't know. I don't know. The concerning part is, I mean, Jordan Ackridge wanted to speak to me a couple days ago, and I pretended that I had something to respond to because what am I going to find out? That she has more. I don't want the information. I don't. I I don't care about deals other people are making because I've realized, honey, genuinely, it's a waste of time. And I bring up Jordan specifically because she felt bad about the whole chastity stuff. Um, and how she, didn't deserve it and it has been forgotten. And then my immediate mental thought was like, okay, your life is in, I don't necessarily want to say shambles, right? But like, obviously she's been dealing with a lot. She's someone who I believe would make a deal. Then we're back at square one.
Yeah.
Where it's deal after deal after deal after deal because the moment somebody hears that they can right their wrong, which in the Edgar case is essentially what happened if he killed somebody and
Mm.
wants them to return. I would assume that to be a similar case with Jordan and Chastity. Although Jordan didn't specifically have involvement, it's more so like she feels bad that Chastity was forgotten or something to that extent, and they were good friends, and she's the only one who cares and whatnot. Um, like if you start offering, not you, but Death starts offering the ability to bring some of these people back, it's not good.
No,
It's not
it's
good
not.
because at the end of the day, um, people need to understand that there isn't always an undo button. And unfortunately, if it becomes the norm that people think, not even if not even that it has to actually exist. If they think an undo button exists, they will make decisions on a whim without contemplating the consequences under the assumption that they can very easily get it undone.
I think
And there are
you're.
tons of people who would believe that.
I think you're just explaining exactly why Pestilence has turned up. Because if Norman's offering an undo button, then things aren't. The natural order is out of balance.
But am I wrong in saying he's targeting the wrong fucking people? Why not make these sorry. Why not make these people involved sick? Why me? Why you?
Yeah.
Why not the people trying to make a deal for Edgar?
I don't know. I don't know. Pestilence has said some things, like at some point he said that he was making me sick or us sick to protect us from Norman. Which I think even Norman kind of confirmed a little bit, but in a way that he said that Pestilence can only delay the inevitable for so long or something. Which kind of adds up with Pestilence saying that he's doing this to make us stronger. So I don't know whether the sickness is some way to keep us from dying at Norman's hands. I don't know.
I don't know. Like I started thinking like what if being sick makes Norman like unable to like make a deal of sorts? That's not the case because then if Pestilence just wanted this to be done and over with, he would target the people making deals. It would be simple.
Yeah. You know Norman stabbed Pestilence?
No.
Yeah. They're really having it out with each other.
When did that happen?
I don't know. I think sometime recently because Pestilence showed me his wound. All his suit and everything was damaged. Either
No,
way.
there's still too many like missing pieces of this puzzle.
Absolutely.
Like does Norman even wear this ring?
He does.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen Norman. I have not seen Norman. I'm
I
not
have.
going to the lighthouse. I don't care. Like it's just it's not happening. I'm not going to be one of those stupid fucking lemmings who just continuously goes to the lighthouse to just have a good old conversation. Eh, no, no. I feel like, and honey, I'm sorry if you take offense to this. I understand why you've gone to the lighthouse, but I feel like, okay, maybe I shouldn't even make an exception for you. I'm sorry. I'm going to be blunt. I feel like every person, regardless of who, even with the best of intentions, every person going to the lighthouse is part of the problem. It is giving attention to I don't know how to explain it. It's bringing attention rather to the lighthouse, which is prompting more people to go, which is prompting more deals, which is prompting more problems. And I'm not going to contribute to it. I'm not going. Will I entertain a conversation with Norman not there? Maybe. If it's my choice, no. No, I never want to see the guy. I never want to speak to the I do not want anything to do with him. Not after what happened in the past. But unfortunately, and I've said this a million times, a lot of these people aren't going to realize what they're doing until it's too late. People don't change unless they hit rock bottom. You can't convince me otherwise. Somebody truly needs to hit rock bottom to make a notable change in their life. And most people are just ultimately going to be, I mean, they're mostly going to care for themselves and do stupid things and end up at the fucking lighthouse making deals. I'm sorry. Oh, I hate it. I hate it. Every bit of it.
So do I. But the reality is, at this point, it seems like things are happening regardless of what happens at the lighthouse. And
But
if
likely only because of the amount of people who've already gone.
I agree. But if the people who aren't going to make deals just sit back, then at that point it's just a waiting game until we watch everything burn down around us. Unfortunately, if we had the ability to stop an earthquake, the lighthouse is the epicenter. So we're going to end up there at one point or another. I wish I didn't have to. I wish there was somebody else who could do it. I don't trust anybody. Most people have selfish interests. I don't. And then you've got detectives working this case that are too busy squabbling over stupid shit than to focus on the big picture. Apparently, BCSO was pulled out because Pestilence and the sheriff made a deal.
Huh?
Yeah.
Repeat that? What deal?
Apparently, Sheriff Grey and Pestilence had a conversation. To the extent I'm not sure, but I think he asked her or told her to do the same thing that he said to me, and to call off her people, and she has. Now everybody in BCSO is, as far as I'm aware, banned from having anything to do with the lighthouse or Dr. Smith. And I think in return she got 2 cures.
I mean, I think that's the lesser of many evils.
I'd agree. But doesn't help. Doesn't change the finish line. Certainly doesn't help, but
What is the finish line, though?
I mean, you know the stories, right? They torn up and everything burns to the ground. Storms, plagues, death, until there's nothing left there.
How do they thrive in that environment? When there's nothing left, there's nothing for them.
I think they care.
I don't know.
Pestilence was just talking to me the other day. He was talking about when there was nothing. So he remembers a time before. Sure, he remember a time afterwards. Yeah. Listen, I don't want to sit here all day and talk about how everything's going wrong. but it's not going to get us anywhere.
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
What's Pixie's involvement? Because I spoke to her the other day, and she was talking about how everyone was contacting her, asking about Isaac. Now, obviously, to some degree, it makes sense because they worked alongside each other. But it seemed like it was more than that, in the sense that, listen, I understand working alongside someone, right? I worked alongside Copper, and I haven't been grilled nearly as much, despite the fact that she seemingly had the ring first before it ended up getting to Norman. So, what what information do they think Pixie would have that other people wouldn't?
I don't know. I haven't heard about Pixie recently, but I think I remember her being connected in some sort back in the day when, we were going through this the first time. But I can't remember to what extent. I think she had connections with Norman and Dr. Smith. Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know.
But
It seems like she's sort of trying her best to wash her hands clean of, like, people ask, and I worked with the guy, but that's kind of it.
yeah, I think Snow was probably in the same boat. A lot of people ask him a lot of questions, and he tried to wash his hands. But I don't know whether that's going through great considering who he told me he spoke to.
What's the game plan?
Exactly how we stop all this, I have no idea. So right now, my goal is to try and put a stop to the Faceless, because if the Faceless happens to be war, then maybe we can take them off the table and slow things down. All while in the meantime trying to navigate Norman and Pestilence and how to resolve that situation. Do we try and take the ring from Norman? That sounds like a bad idea. Or do we try and put a stop to Pestilence somehow? Do we work with do you try and find Hope? You can get Hope on board there. All while trying to outrun the Chicken Man, who seems to be working the Pestilence shit. It's a shit show. It's a shit show. No one's prepared for it. No, none of us. And there's a part of me that wants to go along the route that we did last time and get everybody together and on the same page. But the city's changed, man. There's too many. Everybody has their own agendas. Nobody can see the big picture anymore. There's no real good people left.
I think it's always been that way. It's just the people who you thought cared back in the day were far less what's the term I'm looking for? I don't know. People just don't care about what other people think about them. And as somebody who sort of lives by, like, I don't give a fuck about what other people think about me, like, I mean, there's still the concept of, like, public perception of you, right? Like, I mean, think Tessa, for example. A year ago, when people started telling me that Tessa was doing some pretty bad things, I sort of shrugged and was like, no, there's no way. Despite knowing that it probably was true, but, like, I knew Tessa. hung out with her every single fucking day so many years ago. And now she's with the clowns, you know? Like there's a level of people don't present themselves with the level of like um people aren't careful, I guess is how I should word it. They just don't care. There's very little consequence to actions. So you don't have to be hush hush about everything. I think is what I'm trying to get at here. But I think those people have always been the same this whole time. I don't think they've actually changed. I think the way they are presenting themselves has changed, but they haven't actually changed. Like they've always been that person.
Yeah.
That bad to say?
I don't think Snow would like you saying there, but I agree with you.
Yeah, but for Snow, like I don't want to make exceptions, but I think he has always been that same person. It's just there was reason for his anger to be directed elsewhere, where instead of being from within the police department out towards people doing bad things, being shafted by the recruitment process of the police department, and now, honey,
Hungry. Hungry.
I don't have any food.
So hungry. Yeah.
Let's go get you some food.
I didn't want to stop the conversation. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You do have to tell me these things, though. Listen, if we have to interrupt a conversation, we have to interrupt a conversation. You're speaking to the person who has told you, like, if you do something, it's for a reason, you know? Like, I wouldn't be mad if you went to the fucking lighthouse. The only thing that would make me mad is if you made a deal, but I understand that, like, at the end of the day, it's gonna happen no matter what. Not that you're gonna make a deal, but like if your mind's set to it, it's gonna happen. Why would you think I'd be upset if you told me you were hungry?
I don't know. Maybe you thought I was like famine or something, you know?
Are you?
What about if I am? That's why I'm so hungry all the time. I feel like I've got worms.
Honey, I'm gonna tell you this, and I don't want to break your heart.
Whoa.
Okay? I don't know if I could still love you if you were a worm.
What? What do you mean?
I just, you know, that we wouldn't be able to talk. You know,
I could talk. You could like Ouija board me, you know? Just put me on a Ouija board and we could talk.
Honey, for you to make a word, it'd take like half an hour.
And that's what it would take for our love to continue.
I don't know.
I can't believe. You know what? Heck, the end of the world. This is a bigger problem.
No, it's
not. It is, yeah.
No. Honey, this is a little different than like, you know, getting injured and you know, being sick. Being a worm's a whole other thing. You know, you're not really you.
Yeah, it would be me, yeah. Me little Richard wormy dog.
Oh my gosh. You know, I'm gonna ask someone if what I just said was insensitive. I can't ask you
it
because
will be,
you're biased.
Everyone's gonna say you're insensitive. That's this lady right here. He ran
Oh,
up.
she's gone. Don't worry. We'll ask whoever's at the kebab shop. Jasper, we need food stat.
Right, how many food do you need?
Honey, how many food do you need?
All of it.
He's,
I'll take
he's
the
already
lot.
passed out. Okay, I don't know about that one. I don't know about
I'll
that
take
one.
the lot.
No, Jasper, honey, is 5 meals too much?
I'm gonna eat until I'm as big as a worm.
No. Okay, Jasper, I need to know if I was insensitive
What
telling my
happened to your head?
telling my husband I wouldn't love him if he was a worm.
Put some
No.
shoes on,
it's
please.
not insensitive.
Look at your face.
Can you put
do you
those-
think that's reasonable?
Those ogreish
It is very
trotters away.
Okay.
Or what?
I'll throw up. But
That's not my problem.
yeah, you're right.
Ma'am, do you think I'm insensitive for telling my husband I wouldn't love him if he was a worm?
Honestly, I don't know how you love him. I don't
Okay.
really like him.
Who loves you?
Well, he's
Michelle,
not for
nobody.
you to love.
0 people.
Who loves
So
me?
apparently,
I got a lot of people. I got a lot of people that love me.
Ooh, a lot of people haven't
Jasper,
heard any
I'm
names.
so
I got a
hungry.
lot of enemies.
yeah. How many would you like again? Sorry,
All of them.
I don't think you want all of them.
Three combos, honey, is that?
I got it.
3 combos.
Also, lifespan of the worm
Oh.
is like
There
4
you go.
years. So
He's
I
turning
believe,
into a
you
worm.
know, even if you would love him, then it won't last too long.
Honey, do I need to help you up so you can eat?
Don't talk to me.
Honey? Honey, you're the reason I have to clean this place up.
Just a curious
Listen,
question. What happened to him?
He's hungry.
No, like where did his hair go and why are his eyes like purpley red and why does he have like all these spots on his face?
He's a little under the weather.
A little.
Uh,
Does he have the plague?
No comment. Honey, I'm gonna help you up here,
Oh,
okay?
dear Lord.
Here we are. Eat. Honey, you're being dramatic. Honey.
Do you love me now?
Honey.
Do you love me now?
You're not a worm. Of course
You're
I
right.
love you.
You're right. I'm not wormy enough, but
Don't, honey. No. I probably should not say what's on my mind. It's just I've seen so many of those videos. Would you love me if I was a worm? And these dumb bitches like, yes, I would, honey. I'd still no, the fuck you would not.
I'd
All
love
the
you,
lying
honey.
Bitches in the fucking videos.
I'd love you, honey. I
Honey,
built you
I
a
do love
fancy
you. You're
mansion
not
out
a
of dirt.
worm.
Oh, well, if it would have a worm, would it be even recognize? Would it be even able to recognize if you love him or not? Is he capable? Are worms capable of such thing?
I don't know.
Yes, of course I will be.
I don't.
Oh, hello.
I don't know.
Good morning.
Morning. Do you
Oh.
want to see a magic trick?
Would you love
You
me if I
can't-
was a worm trigger?
I don't love you in the first place.
Yeah, but would you? Just answer the question.
How can I still love you if you were a worm if I
Oh
didn't love
my
you in the
God.
first place?
Honey, I love you, and that's the important part. But
Not
if
if
you
I
were
was a worm, though.
Correct, but you're not a worm.
So
So
your
that's out of
love,
the
so your
question.
love has conditions. Is that what you're saying?
No, my love is unconditional.
No,
to
you say it's
Unless
got
you're a
conditions.
worm.
Yeah, unless you're a worm, then I don't love you anymore.
Well, honey, you're not going to turn into a worm.
Hold on. What's the magic trick, Trig?
All right, you guys ready for this?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna keep talking to you guys. Hello, hello. I am talking right now. I'm still talking. Isn't that crazy?
Oh,
Daddy,
wow.
that's so
Wait, I
mean.
think
Can you guys do that?
yeah, I think I'm good. I'm.
Hello.
Yeah, I think. Oh, hello.
What?
Yeah,
Is it?
Hold on. Testing.
you good?
Oh
Well, no. To
No.
be fair, I did something. Wait,
no.
did you do the thing?
Listen, this thing just soaks up all my sound.
Oh wait, no. I mean, I feel like, you know,
Like
I
you're a
use my
basic
right
bitch?
hand. Yeah, I use my right hand.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Whoa, I don't want to know what you're doing on a Saturday night, Trig. Jesus.
Oh,
Don't you have a
I use my
girlfriend?
right hand, but I think, instead
you
of
did
like 4 and
something
5,
else.
I'm 13, 14,
Yeah, that's the L way.
Well, it works.
Yeah, but look, I am doing 4 and 5. Look at me. La 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 la.
Yeah, it must be nice. Do you know how many times I've had to fucking repeat charges because I'm sitting there being a dumbass, like, all right, here are your charges, and I realize I'm just mentally saying this shit. I didn't say a fucking word.
Okay, watch this. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello,
hello, hello.
hello.
This is Swedish.
Oh,
Thing.
hold on. Hello, hello.
So, if you don't want to have your scuffed way, you gotta think. Have you ever thought about like getting a canary bird?
Not working
Yes,
a mind, Trig.
I have actually.
Yeah, yeah. If you
I
do
have.
that, you won't need your little workaround.
Oh, perfect.
Oh,
Yeah, I
so,
will.
honey, you'd rather have a bird than a worm? Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
Early
No.
bird gets the worm.
That's interesting.
Honey, that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying at all. But listen, I am
I'm not content.
going to clean up the mess that you left behind and all the other mess here. Don't worry.
Anyways, I gotta go. I just wanted to spread that because it drove me insane.
Yeah,
Oh,
it
wait.
drove me insane too.
Thank you,
Trust
Trig. I
me.
appreciate that.
No worries. It
Don't
wasn't
worry, guys.
us.
Listen,
it was
I'm
someone
here to
else.
clean up the mess. I think.
He's still a mess. Look at him. Look at him.
Honey, I would love you no matter what, but you're not a worm, so you don't have to worry about it.
Conditional love. I get it.
No, it's
I'd be even better
unconditional.
as a worm because you could like split me in half and I'd still be alive. So
You kind of
you'd,
look like
you'd
a
have
slug
two
at
of
this
me.
point.
That's rude.
It's Richard
What?
Dog is a worm. What the hell?
He's
Honey,
got the plague. He's contagious, and he's like dragging on the ground. Like he's like literally like a slug.
okay, guys, I'm more concerned at... Okay, I'm not more concerned. Honey, I love you, but I see a casing right here. And I can't...
We're so fast. How much faster is your car? Where would a worm go? The sewers. Oh, sorry. My bad. Worm coming through. Oh, the graveyard's a good shout. Let's go there. Oh, the Dune music intensifies it. That's a that's a good shout. Lisan Algib. Wait, are we coughing as a worm right now? Is that what's happening? Yeah. I think we coughed.
I caught you.
You don't want
Honey,
me. You don't want me. This is my true form.
Honey, I don't really know what's going on here. Honey,
What?
just get in the car.
You have to lift my warm body up and put me in the car if you love me.
Honey, you are being very dramatic right now.
I don't know the meaning of the word.
What about that one song? Okay,
What
I'll
song?
Put you in.
Okay.
It said something like, "If you love me, let me go."
What? You want to let me?
Honey, I'm grabbing you.
Ah!
I'm sorry. It was just you didn't look okay. Okay. I'm gonna put you in the car. All right. Stop this immediately. No, I'm putting you in. You stop this immediately. You can't be a worm.
Does this make me a wormy? Like how people dress up as dogs are furry? Shit.
No. No, absolutely not.
Just admit that you'd love me if I was your worm. Wouldn't that be the cutest little worm?
Honey, is now a bad time to tell you that I think babies look like aliens, and I think anybody who looks at a baby and goes, "Oh my god, it's so cute," is lying?
It's a good job we adopted, huh?
Yeah, we skipped that phase.
Yeah.
We said skip. We said, Dr. Skip, hold them until they're adults.
Yeah. That was good. That.
Yeah.
Yeah, babies are so ugly. They're like little potatoes, you know. The ones that like, you know the ones they sell at the supermarket that are called like wonky veg. Have you heard of that?
Okay, so I know what you're talking about. There's like services that take the not like perfect, like grade A, like
Yeah.
fruits and vegetables and
Yeah, in the UK they sell them as wonky veg, and it's cheaper.
wonky veg.
Yeah, like you have the bendy
Never-
carrots and stuff. Yeah.
Well,
It's all the same. All goes down the same way.
yeah. Yep, unless you're a worm. In which case, things become more complicated. And what could be a wonky veg could instead be your home.
Exactly. So you do know about worms. You've been researching them so you can love me.
I would love you no matter what, because
Apart from
it
if
is
I was a
impossible-
worm.
But you're not a worm.
I thought that was Pestilence. You went the wrong way.
I did miss the turn. You're right. But don't worry, because I'm a professional.
Taking pictures with my motor. Okay, thanks, honey.
Oh my god, that reminds me of JJ.
Who?
Remember Jay Jarvis?
Yeah.
When you say motor, it reminds me of when he used to say it. But it was like with...
But you'd love him
The
if he
accent
was
was
a
like-
worm.
No, absolutely not. Honey,
Alright.
I'm not into worms, but I am into you.
So that you would be into me if I was a worm. Slither you later, honey. Yeah.
I love you.